In 1926, Herbert Wolfgang Ernst Emil Link moved from his homeland of Besigheim, Germany, to escape the inflation that was ravaging the European economy, and traveled to the United States with visions of earning enough money to return to Germany after 2 years. He settled in St. Louis, where he found a job as a tool and die maker, while also playing professional soccer for the White Banner Malt Club. In 1927, while competing in a soccer match, Herbert broke his leg. This event was the impetus for Herbert to reevaluate his career, a process which resulted in a move to Detroit to take part in the thriving automotive industry. He spent the next several years working at a series of jobs, including a position at Cadillac Motor Company, and refining his skills in the art of machine building. In January of 1932, Herbert married Martha Dieter, his next-door neighbor from Germany, who had also moved to the U.S. Martha would provide Herbert the support that he would rely on for his future successes. After the Great Depression, Herbert began making tap wrenches and spent his weekends selling them door to door. In 1935, he officially established Link Engineering Company in the basement of his house. Tap wrenches and edge finders made up the company's initial product line. In 1936, Herbert acquired a patent for a spring testing device. He then began producing the testing devices and identified a market of willing buyers. Business continued to grow, and Herbert relocated to a storefront near the Fisher Building in Detroit. In the early 1940s, construction of the John Lodge Expressway forced Link Engineering to move out of the storefront and into the company's first standalone facility on Elmira Street in Detroit. Herbert continued to expand the business and brought in key players such as Lee Doughty and Bob Frederick, launching what would become long-standing careers with the company. During this period, Link acquired the United Electric Company from General Motors, providing an entry to the electric motor repair business. In the mid-1940s, Link hired T.P. Chase after his retirement from GM, and Link and GM worked together in developing the Chase machine as a method to assess friction material characteristics. Already the proud parents of 3 daughters, in 1944, Herbert and Martha Link were thrilled to finally add a son to their family. In due time, Roy would come to lead the company into the next century. Stuck in a severe heat wave, in a summer in the late 1940s, working conditions at the Elmira plant became unbearable, and employers felt the strain. At the end of one of these long, hot days, Herbert announced to the employees that everyone should bring their swim trunks into work with them the following day. On that next day, the workers established a company picnic outing that would turn into an annual tradition at Link. It continues to serve as a family-oriented event where coworkers are able to relate to each other outside of work and enjoy good times with one another. Through the 40s and 50s, Link's spring testers became a booming market. They were sold at a higher rate than ever before, allowing the company to produce multiple stands at a time. The division would eventually be led by Dave McGee in sales and Harold Palmer in manufacturing. In addition to this business, the company also began developing pump and motor test systems, including its patented Unibeam, designed by Milt Weber, which measured torque before there were electronic transducers. Pneumatic air mount systems were made to isolate machine bases and seismic blocks from transmitting vibrations while maintaining a level surface. Hydraulic test systems for accumulators and power units were also produced by Link for companies such as Vickers. Link was becoming a wide-range provider of test solutions. In the early 1950s, Herbert Link developed a technique for simultaneously machining both flutes of a center drill cutting tool. This launched Link's involvement into the cutting tool industry and led to the establishment of Link Industries in Indian River. Located in northern Michigan, the building would serve as a machining facility to produce center drills and custom cutting tools, and it is still in operation today. Fred Glock came from Delco in Dayton and was responsible for the facility in Indian River during its early years. It was here that Link developed the company's first winding machine for electric motor stators. These systems soon led to the development of the stator lacer machine, cam-driven stitching systems used on electric motors. At one point, Link built stator lacers, accounted for 90% of the industry's lacers worldwide. And through the management of Warren Brown, these units still significantly contribute to Link's operations to this day. In 1961, the company designed and manufactured its first inertia-type brake dynamometer for Kelsey Hayes. This dynamometer, followed by a few more over the next several years, provided Link the partnerships that it desperately needed with the local, thriving automotive manufacturers, partnerships that continue to be the cornerstone of Link's operations today. In 1971, after receiving degrees in engineering and business, and after a 3-year stint at Burroughs, Roy began working full-time for his father. Through the support of his wife, Dawn, Roy quickly became a tremendous asset to the company and to the industries served by Link. Roy was named CEO-President of Link Engineering Company in 1989, a position that he still holds today. The early and mid-1970s served as an era when Link became highly involved with producing large dynamometers, primarily for the heavy truck and off-road vehicle industries. Customers included GM Truck and Bus, Bendix, BF Goodrich, Brakes India, and Raybestos. While Link was now building test systems larger than ever before, it continued to improve upon its operational efficiencies. John Sarnick, who was a key contributor to the success of these jobs, would become the operations manager in the mid-70s, and today John holds the title of Executive Vice President. Link Engineering has produced a wide variety of control systems through its history. Guided by the leadership of Tim Olix and Dan Sharada, beginning in the mid-70s and continuing to this day, Link's control systems have evolved to keep pace with the needs of its customers. Through the evolution from relay control to discrete solid-state logic to microprocessors and then to fully computer-based controls, Link is recognized for its innovative and user-friendly operating systems. The 1980s brought another level of development for the company. In the late 80s, Link won a bid to design and construct an aircraft brake dynamometer for Allied Signal in South Bend, Indiana. This project would lead to other aircraft test systems built by Link and installed at facilities around the world. In 1988, through the oversight of Frank Dane, Link Testing Laboratories was founded in Detroit as a means to offer independent testing services at the automotive component level. It would develop into an extensive lab serving the testing needs of brake system, transmission, wheel and hub, and other related automotive components. Customers quickly came to see the benefits that Link's expertise in testing services brought to them. Soon, through the leadership of Tim Duncan, Link had to add more employees and dynamometers to the Detroit facility in order to keep up with the demand. Herbert remained active in, and in fact at the forefront of the business, all the way until his death in 1989. By the early 90s, with the test laboratory continuing to expand, Roy purchased land in Plymouth for development of a new design, manufacturing, and assembly headquarters. There was now plenty of room for the test laboratory to expand, and expand it did. Today, Link has not only filled the Elmira facility, it also operates dynamometers at several customer sites, as well as at its laboratories around the world. In the mid-90s, Link's software department began developing a platform that escalated the company to yet another height. The Windows-based software, identified as ProLink, would act as the operating system for every Link test machine manufactured from that point forward. Its popularity with customers would also lead to Link offering control upgrades on competitors' test systems. Complementing the expanding demand for Link's laboratory testing services, the demand for vehicle testing was also rising. In 1993, through the leadership of Dan Mahana, Link established a vehicle test facility in Phoenix, Arizona. These operations have since expanded into support activities in Los Angeles, a vehicle test facility in Michigan, and a commercial vehicle test facility in Ohio. The 2000s represented an era in which Link Engineering committed itself to taking the next step and evolved into a multinational company. A joint venture with SE Systems to create Link Test Labs Korea was established, as well as the opening of sales offices in China, Germany, Brazil, and Japan. Link has also established representatives in France and India. Link is now in the process of opening up laboratories in China, Brazil, and Germany. This expansion has proven to be timely, as 2008 became the first year where more than half the company's revenue was generated outside the U.S. With Link systems installed around the world, and with markets developing abroad, Link is well positioned to support this activity and fulfill its customers' future needs. Link has been successful due to the dedication, innovation, and overall drive of its employees. Through the leadership of both Herbert and Roy, and the emphasis on the importance of its employees and the quality of their lives, Link is proud of the numerous employees who have worked with the company for 20, 30, 40, even 50 years. It is this level of expertise that is responsible for the highly valued products and services that Link's customers have come to expect. Link would like to thank its employees, its customers, and its suppliers for a great 75 years.